let's head to Ashland, Oregon, and Southern Oregon, and the last Frontier Conference team to win a national championship back in 2014. Breck Brown is the head coach in his third season. Coach Brown, your thoughts on the newly developed, newly designed Frontier Conference?
Yeah, it's exciting. I'm just glad we don't have to play each other twice all year all year round, man. It's tough to beat a team twice. No, it's great. I think having an East-West division is unbelievable, and getting two qualifiers to the national playoffs is a really big deal. And yeah, and we've got one of the toughest conferences in small college football. I don't care if it's Division II, Division III, between Tech and Carroll and Western and Dickinson. Man, it's going to be a heck of a fight to get into the national playoffs, and ultimately that's our goal. But man, is it going to be tough to get there?
Coach, what do you like best about the team you have back this year?
Gunnar Yates. I mean, Gunner's the real deal, and the fact that we kept him around after he was kind of pursued by some higher schools, some FCS, FBS level schools, to have him toting the rock for us in the backfield he's a pretty special player, man. And we returned 8 of 11 starters on defense that we're very excited about. We get Spencer Cuffle back after he was injured last spring. He tore his ACL, so we get him back on defense. So we're super excited about that. We got a heck of a quarterback battle going on right now between 3 or 4 guys. We've got Rieger Sayer, who is a local Ashland kid. He's our athletic director's kid. Played at Butte College and then Portland State, and then has transferred to us. We've got a kid out of Coos Bay, Oregon, who's an Oregon State transfer, Don Montiel. McCade Long from Sacramento played at Granite Bay. And then Marley Alcantara, who was the Bay Area Player of the Year at quarterback for Pittsburgh High School. So a lot of great players and a lot of different spots, and we're pretty excited about them all.
Coach, your assistant coaches, any changes?
No. Yeah. Yes, I shouldn't say that. My apologies. Yeah. So Rain Kanashiro is coaching our wide receivers. He takes over after playing for us when Samson Angwai got a job at Idaho State, along with Anthony Morales, who is our running back coach. He's also at Idaho State now, and Blake Eaton is our running back coach. Blake was a quarterback at Linfield College, and he actually played for me at Crater High School. And him and his family and me are real tight. So those are our only two newbies and losses this year.
Your thoughts on the travel in the Frontier Conference?
Well, I think this is the first time I can remember not having to go to Montana during the regular season. So we're super excited about that. Still have to make a long trek out to Madison, South Dakota, and down to Phoenix. So we're actually excited to have some more regional teams for us. Get to play Simpson, which is only a 2-hour drive. So that's a day trip for us, which is in this conference is kind of crazy to think about. At least for us being way out west here. We have another away game up in Monmouth, Oregon, where we play Division II, Western Oregon. So as far as travel goes, man, this is the best that I think I can imagine it ever since I was a player here at Southern Oregon. So we're pretty excited about the travel, that we're not having to take too many trips that are 9, 10, 11, 12, 13-hour bus rides.
You have 3 Montana teams traveling to Ashland, Montana Tech, Montana Western, and Carroll. All easy games for you. What's it like? I mean, it's so competitive, in the Frontier. How do you best describe it?
Yeah, what I don't think a lot of people understand in small college football is how hard travel is, because it's not the guys, that you're watching on national television where they get to charter flights right in, they have buses right on the tarmac. I mean, it's planes, trains, and automobiles to get wherever you're going, whether you're, coming from Montana to Ashland or Ashland to Montana. And so what makes it really hard is, I mean, you're having to get on all these commercial flights and bus places, and that can be hard on a young man, who's especially he's in school and trying to stay ahead of his studies and get the proper rest, because usually the flights that you're taking are like 5 in the morning. So it makes going on the road in the Frontier a real son of a gun, man. It's no joke. And then we have some of the best environments, that you can imagine. We haven't been out to Montana Western to play at their new stadium, but that thing looks packed on film, and that's looks like a hell of a place to play football. I know we have a great environment. So what I think people don't realize, especially voters, for the national rankings and the playoffs, understand like how tough our travel is in the Frontier and having to overcome those things because the schools back east and in the Midwest, their travel is just not what we have to deal with here in this conference.
Coach Brown, how do you best describe Southern Oregon football?
Oh man, that's a good one. Um, I think I think we want to be defined by our effort. Um, and because there is something that you're always in control of. And that's what we try to tell our players. Like the calls made by the referees, we're not in control of those things, right? Sometimes our execution is off and they just, execute better than we do. But the one thing that we're always in control of is our effort and being excited about being a SOU Raider. So we want to be defined by our effort. We want to play harder than anyone in the country. I don't care if Gunner leads the conference in rushing again, or we're the best defense in the country, all those numbers don't mean anything to us, right? It's the non-measurable of just playing really, really, really hard, and we want to play harder than anyone in the country.
How come it's become so hard to run at almost any level of football?
Run the football? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I mean, because defenses, are starting to catch up. I think to what was the fad of tempo, spread them out football, and there used to be so many seams or seems taken away. And now in our conference, I think we have really, really top level defensive coordinators. I mean, you're going to go see a 3-3 from Carroll one week, and then the next week you're facing the flex defense out of Eastern Oregon, and the next week you're facing a 4-2 out of Montana Tech. And just the caliber of defenses and the way they're taught are really, really tough. And to be quite honest, like it's hard to find 8 offensive linemen that can carry you throughout the year at our level. With what the transfer portal has done is like the big guys are going first. And it's really, really hard because you can't be 5 deep at offensive line going into the season. That's just not a reality, right? At any level of football is to have 5 guys that are going to last, all 10, 11 games. That's just not a reality. So you got to be 5 or 8 or 9 deep, right? And if you get injured early, man, it's really hard to overcome that up front. So we've really tried to focus on that side of recruiting, and it's not easy, right, in today's day and age.
Well said. Dr. Crawford.
Burke, it's good to have you with us today. One of my fond memories of your program is when I saw you all on the game with the team from Japan, and I'm curious about the status of that. When's the next time that's going to take place? And then I'll have a couple other questions for you.
Sure. That's a great question. I was I would love to. We owe them the trip now is the problem. So I got to fundraise, right, and for some flights out to Japan. So we're looking within the next 2 or 3 years to make it back to Japan. There are just other priorities for our university and our football program right now. I had to go fundraise for a brand new field, right? We got a brand new turf surface that just got into Raiders Stadium. And so there's just some things that are more important on the fundraising side of things than going to Japan right now. But we owe those guys a trip, and hopefully that's within the next 2 or 3 years.
So following that game, I drove to Sacramento to fly out, and you talk about a 2-hour drive down to Reading. I just hope that even in November that that game's earlier in the season, hopefully, because that was an interesting drive home in April last 2 years ago. So
yeah, we played our spring game in a storm, man. That was no joke. Freezing rain, and I'm sure you got snow going over the Siskiyou and Shasta passes there. Yeah, I'm sure you got some weather, boy.
Yeah. Tell me, how do you protect Gunner this year? He's had a little bit of some health issues, some injury issues. He gives his body up every play, it looks like. What are some things that you all are doing with him to ensure that he'll be able to play a full season this year?
Yeah, great question. First and foremost, recruit really well. Go get those offensive linemen I talked about, right? That can keep him vertical. But beyond just recruiting great offensive linemen is finding that quarterback that can spread the field for us, right? So we don't get 8-9 in the box like we did that last game against College of Idaho, and find some weapons to get the ball out of Gunner's hands and kind of share the wealth. And we feel like we've done a really good job of that. We asked, Gunner to carry the ball 25, 30 times sometimes last year. And we can't ask that young man to do that again this year because like you said, man, a running back gets beat up. So, we've added some guys. We've got some young guys at the running back position who look really good early on. So it's just finding a surrounding cast is how we protect him. Is he going to get his carries 100%? Is he going to catch the ball out of the backfield 100%? But we can't ask the same of him as we did last year.
Well, I know that we have members of the media that like to ask you some questions, Coach. So, Rock, if you don't mind, I'll let Daniel jump in here and go ahead.
Hey, Coach, Daniel Shepard with 406 Sports. Kind of in that same vein, talking about Gunner. Just can you talk about his family a little bit? I know his dad was a heck of a running back at SOU as well. Just kind of as you know how you know his family and what they're like to be around.
Yeah, I've actually known his family. I played here and I just missed Griff by a few years. So he's just a few years older than I am. But I got to know Griff back in the early 2010 type of era there, where he brought a young man down from Coquille, where the Yates are from, which is on the coast of Oregon, who ended up being our starting middle linebacker for our national championship team. So that's kind of where the Yates and my relationship started. And since I've taken over, 3 years, I'm going into my third season now. When I got the job, Griff was one of the first guys to call me and congratulate me on the job. So yeah, they're Raiders through and through. I mean, both Griff and his wife, Amy, Gunner's mom, are graduates of SOU. So yeah, there's a long lineage of Yates that have been players here and students here, and unbelievable family, unbelievable support, aunts and uncles, and everyone's here tailgating before the game. Yeah, there's no bigger fans than the Yates.
And then can you talk about your offensive line? How many you return, and then maybe some holes you're looking to fill there on the O line?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we lost 4 seniors, right? So that was a huge priority for us this offseason, is developing the guys that we had in our system, had in our program. And so we've got a couple of young guys I'm getting really excited for. Patrick Woolley redshirted last year. He's a young man out of the Portland area who's playing center for us right now. Really excited about Luke Martindale, Keenan Wymaster at the tackle position. Matthew Shaddle is our lone returner at the left tackle position. And there's a couple of battles going on at the interior spots at the guard. So it'll be interesting to see how camp shakes out.
Then what's maybe a couple of traits you hope your new starting quarterback has?
Yeah, he's got to be able to distribute the wealth. And I think one thing, that we're looking for is a little bit more of a dynamic athlete type at the quarterback position, a guy who can extend plays with his legs and throw the ball down the field, but also have that quarterback run element. If everyone's chasing Gunner one way, we're going to bring our quarterback the other way. So we're looking for a little bit of more athleticism out of that position this year, while still being able to throw the ball down the field like we did last year.
Awesome. Thanks for your time, Coach. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, Daniel. Coach, I got a question for you. Your cornerback, Jalen Speed, what a name. Is he fast?
Yeah. Perfect name for a corner, right? Yeah, he's the real deal now. I mean, he's all of 6 foot 290 pounds, FCS transfer out of Sac State, and just an amazing human also, which I think is important to mention. But he's got all the intangibles that you're looking from a corner, on top of being an unbelievable leader. Yeah, we're blessed to have Jalen, man. He's been such an awesome addition to our program, not only as an athlete, but as a person, as a leader. He's on our leadership council. yeah, and has just got some worldly knowledge as a guy who's been around the block a little bit, played at the Division I level, has got, had experience there, played on Saturdays for Sac State, and yeah, has just been an awesome player for us, and obviously had an unbelievable year last year. We've had NFL scouts by to see him going into this season, so expecting big things from old Jalen.
That's awesome. Coach, thanks for your time. We appreciate it, and best of luck to Southern Oregon football in 2025.
I appreciate it, guys. Sorry for being late.
Not a problem. Thank you, sir.